So we're going to talk about concept art for games, the thought process. So the borderline is thought process. Okay. So before that, um, okay, I'll take it. So I'm Naresh. I'm just founder of E3Studio. E3Studio is basically a game art outsourcing studio. So I'm in this industry in animation, traditional animation, VFX for the movies and the games is all together. It's coming around 20, 22 years. Started with my initial days with the traditional method, learning the art. Um, work with quite a few studios around here in India, few in abroad, like EA, Jinga, all these studios, and try my best to try my hands on as many as platforms and the genre, game genre. And so yeah, so I enjoy that process, and mostly I enjoy that gaming domain because it's interactive. Other domain, other things, movies and animation, I just sit and watch. But in a game, when your character player interacting with your character, that's like like put me into saying I want to be in a gaming. So that's what about me. Okay. So what is concept art and for the gaming particularly as an artist, I'll give you a example like how I transform myself, how I transform my thought process from different backgrounds, like coming from the animation or making a VFX for movies. How does it transform that thought process towards the gaming? So that was it was really challenging for me because as I said, uh, for the film or the VFX, I did a piece of art, and they got inspired, and they make the maybe hold the whole frame, or maybe the things are moving here and there. But for the game, it was like all about player and how your player getting engaged with your visuals. That is all about. So that is the challenging part for the gaming concept artist for the games. So that's I I took little time to understand that. It's not a illustration. Yeah, I mean definitely we do a lot of illustration for the games also, but it's not just a piece of art. It's all about the information. And how you are conveying your ideas, how you are taking that, how you are inspiring from that one piece of art to a complete game, right? So it's a form of visual art used to convey your idea, used in films, video games, and animation. It's very simple. I'm not putting any, typical language or something like that to make you confused. It's a very straightforward line that as a piece of visual art is going to inspire for your complete product. It's define also the shape of the game or maybe your film or something like that, complete production. Basically it's going to in a game it's going to be a art book, or you can say art bible for the complete team. It's not only for that 3D. I made a concept that is for 3D artist. No, it's for a designer also. So many times concept artists help the designer to think beyond what exactly they are looking at, like planning for. So we inspire them. We inspire them. We give them more ideas. We give them more space to explore their design ideas. And it's also like I'll tell you my one of my experience. Also the programmer, how even there also sit down with some time with a concept artist and discuss about that visual directions. So it's all together. So this is the concept art basically. If I explain you in a simple word, it should inspire whole team from the uh, line art, from the design documents to like GDD to final product. Okay. So let's say we got on a basic documents from the designer or the product people, say that, hey, we have a game plan, we have a storyline, we want to make a game, maybe whatever the platform is. So as a concept artist, as an artist, so my first thing, how I'm going to translate that words to the visuals, right? So the thought process, okay? The explorations, okay? How how I want to see that world or the environment or the character or even if a small asset also, like how I'm looking at that, how I'm going to tell my player the story through my visuals, right? That thought process, where how it will come, how it will come. We do lot of brainstorming while even if in the early stage of when we are getting the design documents with the designers, we do lot of sketches, a millions of sketches. We are not sure what we need, but we need to reach there. For that, we create lot of scribbles, lot of brainstorming, lot of reference collecting, like back and forth, lot of things we do. So an agile concept artist, you're not, during that process also you will maybe accidentally you will come up with a style, game art style, one style. So for that, it's not necessary you are using only computer, maybe a sketch pad. On the discussion table also, we just took the marker and started drawing while discussing. So it's happened. We did a lot of our game while exploring about game style. We did from on the desk. As an artist, also I'm keep using this word, the player engagement and the player engagement. How I'm making my player to relate to the visuals, how himself relating that to the visuals, how will feel nostalgic. Hey, I've seen this sort of location, or this is kind of character design, the kind of behavior of the character, maybe the game mechanism or something like that. So that in the same time, you have to find out how this game visually stand out. Also, definitely the game mechanism and the gameplay is all about, but also like how it's standing out in the visual perspective. That is also very important for the artist. And many times it came from the I sometimes I got like how you are talking with the product owner, but they talk about this kind of visual. How you are talking about? I'm the artist. I know what need to be done, right? So it's not about only the concept artist. That thought process during that conceptualizing that game, it can come to anyone from your team, maybe a programmer, because the all team member they play games, a lot of games. I think more than the artist. So yeah, so those things, that thought process during that phase, you have to be open up. You have to create a lot of sketches, thumbnails, explore as much as you can explore. Okay, how we can do that, where those materials, where those information we're going to get, right? So somehow it helped me from the traditional. I'm a fine art graduate. I did my fine art degree from on painting. I was a watercolor artist. Now I'm talking about the game, a complete product. Why and how I reached here? What informations, what knowledge, uh, what practices I have done in my life to reach here, to talk about the complete product, to talk about the game, right? Most I've seen many people, including me, when I started my career, I was like so focused with some only one thing that I just thought like I will be a master in Minecraft. Okay, but in a game development, what happened? You cannot be just an artist. We used to call them game developer. It's not a development. I mean the programming, but developer. I mean we are developing a game, right? So you are not just an artist. You are a developer, right? So where you will get all this information? What is the game mechanism? What is it all about? What is the player engagement? What is, like how it's going to work inside the game engine? How it's going to translate into the 3D? Okay, so you should have a basic understanding of all of this. I'm not saying you can become a master in a one craft, maybe a concept that is just a concept that I'm great, but you should know the pipeline, correct? So that thought process, being a concept artist, that idea where I'll get, correct? So what I do, I used to watch lot of movies. Okay, look at the visual direction of that movies. Look at the art direction of that movies. Look at the scaling of the character and the scaling of the environment. How I'm going to balance the scaling of character and environment so that my character look, like more powerful. It should not background should not dominate my character. So that is one. And the kind of colors, the kind of mood, correct? Where I'll get those ideas. I cannot go every day but study every weather. No, I cannot. So I have like, okay, there is only one simple, sorry, simple, and whatever the resource I have, that is a movie. There's a world movies. I used to watch like Korean movies, Japanese, like Iranian movies. So as many as I can, and gather some information to my mind library. I do that. Okay, reading books. How is going to help an artist? Lot of people ask me how is going to help an artist. The formation of word, the composition of words. Where even if you are reading something, there is a pitch we call like where your sentence or that mood of that line, where that going up and going down. How I'm going to translate into the visual art? That is a challenge. Correct? I'll play through with my color. I play through with my shapes. So rhythm. Once you understand that rhythm, it's applicable in everywhere, and it's for art, whatever the art form you are, music, right? If you understand that rhythm, it's maybe sound little weird to many of you, but it works. Okay? So lot of artists worldwide, they just don't limit their self only to the paper or the digital canvas where they just do and paint. They do lot of research. Okay, sometimes also like we play the background music, only the instrumental, to get that mood. So one of like Norse concept art we are creating at my studio right now on the Viking. So you won't believe, like at least 6 hours in one of my system, that Norse soundtrack is keep going. So it's inspired basically. It will give you that goosebump. Hey, yeah, this kind of pipe they use, the drum beats, okay. So I can, like maybe make something that it should give me that vibe. Unless until that, if you don't, your player not able to connect, your art is gone. So they have to connect. And for the game, it's the global players, right? It's not like people, I made a game, Indian game, and people going to play only here in India. No, my people in maybe Norway, sitting someone is playing that. Okay, how we are make sure that that player have a little bit of feel of like, okay, I can understand what is the Indian culture is. Okay, so there is a lot of way to gain and gather the information. As much as I have in my library, we collect a lot of references. I'm sure all the concept artists, they have in one monitor 100 of reference images and one drawing they are doing, right? Similarly, if we are collecting the reference, we should also have the knowledge and understanding about all that visual, whatever my visual required, from the lights, from the audio, from the shapes, colors, and everything you should have. So those things will come only if you do as much as, like research, read, listen, and like if you feel that. So that, like we say, right? So if look at someone's painting or art, you said like that guy's put his heart and soul in that painting, right? And the art piece of artwork. What is that heart and soul? It's all about that information, all about that emotion he put it in that art, right? Okay. Um, One more thing. So many times we get stuck. So let's say 10, 15 years you are doing a art style continuously. You have your own style and continuously you are doing that. It's very hard to change. Let's say the next game what we are making that need I mean it's a metaverse world right now, everything everywhere is a metaverse, and looking at that direction, switching my thought process into that, it's a difficult, right? So why we need to be with the trend, that is also very very important. What is next, how I prepare myself so that I can perform in that particular new world, that is also very very important. Okay, we get stuck. I mean, I, I also had the same phase. I went through, like coming from the animation background, and those were two dimensional, right? And to the 3D, creating art for the 3D department is how, like, you have to do that three dimensional, because eyes if you put like this, but when you model in the 3D it looks different. So that thought process, that change is very 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 essential for every artist. We have to look at for the next trend, what is the coming up, and how we are preparing ourselves, how we can transfer my skill, how I, because I don't want to left out, like when this new trend come, I want to be in industry, how open I am, and how I can be a part of that new game or new style of trend is coming. That's I have to always keep in mind. Okay. Okay. This is a very basic, uh, I won't say problem, but I have come across like lot of with lot of artists. They are so composed, they are so self motivated, they are so confident that, like, okay, tell us what need to be done, we'll do it. Okay, so the information I have, do I think I have enough? No, right? Maybe in my team, someone have maybe, as I said, like programmers or designers, they play more games than the artist, right? They play a lot of all the genre games, like all the platforms they know. So sometimes when they give us a feedback or give us some ideas, we guys just know you are not artist, you don't know what is the art all about. We'll create art for you. No, the importance of that brainstorming, we need to understand that. Okay, the player is not artist, they are going to look at the art, right? How I'm going to convince that through my visuals, that this is what exactly uh, you're going to love it, right? Let's say, correct. So brainstorming is very 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 important, even not only within the art team, but also the like whole team. So any product, any game we have started, any indie project we have started, we at least 2 to 3 months we just did the brainstorm, scribbles, thumbnails, brainstorm, scribbles, thumbnails. That's it. So if I don't take advice, if I don't take the extra information which my other teammates have, then my art will be very limited. Okay. At the same time, that will also inspire them, motivate them. Hey, this is our game we are making, and we want our game should look like that. Till now I'm suffering. I mean, I won't say that suffering, but I'm still fighting my, whenever my developer said like, hey, we want this sort of art, I said, how you explain that? I mean, no, I don't tell that visual language, but I think this is something we want. So then I come back to my desk, create some piece of art, and make sure that he understand, because sometimes the development, they can't use the language what we use. They can't tell that yellow, green, or the temperature of that thing, or the shapes, or they don't know. Designers, mostly people are, they don't know. They can't tell that visual art language. How I'll read that, right? So that is that phase, the brainstorm. I just sit with them and ask them, could you show me some reference? What is the color exactly you are looking at? So that brainstorm phase will help you to make a better product, basically, as a good game or a visual driven game, I would say. Correct? So that brainstorm is very, very important, guys, whenever you have, before jumping into the any art. So you can see some of the early stage of one of our game. It's called Last Bastion, developed by my partner studio. It also was nominated yesterday. I think we did, for a character, we did, I think, a 30, 40 version of the color versions, 100, 200 version of the rough sketches. We did. And we play around with like lot of color palettes. Our, like all possible shapes, all possible colors related to our game mood. We have tried, and it was very loose and very, very, very loose concepts, not too detailed, not like too finished stuff. It's like quick paint, quick paint. So give them a programmer like, I mean, you'll say, how, what program will you understand from this art? Correct. They will, I'm not saying they are going to program that character, how is going to move here from there and all this. They will understand the mood. They will understand about the game mechanism from this art. They don't only look at the documents when they develop the game. So it's all about the library, basically, I said, for complete game production, the library, the art Bible, it helps. And we display in our wall, in every room, in a complete hallway. We'll put the artwork to get everyone inspired in which product they are working. So this is going to be, like as an concept artist, I think sometimes I feel proud that I start this game, how it's going to look like, going to be, the final product, how it is going to look. So I gave them, I inspired them. So I sometimes I feel proud about it. Yeah. Okay. As an artist, as I said, I started with my clay modeling or pencil drawing, but now I'm talking about the tools and pipeline. Correct? The collaboration, the word of collaboration. I think I have already explained in different way, but why I'm saying the collaboration is a very important. What is optimization? Lot of concept artists they don't know, and they don't even bother about. But why it is important from the day one, why I'm planning my concept for the game, what is important to understand that what is the optimization. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sit in the game engine. I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm going to sit with that artist who's going to do all this optimization stuff in his 3D or his asset, right? If I understand bit of that pipeline, that knowledge, so that in initial phase, I can optimize myself and have enough time to explore more, or rather, like, again, coming back to and starting everything from the zero. I think one of artists I had, I mean, long by I worked with, amazing artist, amazing illustrator, basically. His one of character was so beautiful, so beautiful. Then we thought how we can make it into our game, how we can translate that details to our game. I'm talking about the 2010 when the game engine was, I think it's not that, yeah, we know what kind of game engine we have worked. So it was really hard. But our game requirement, our technical, we know the technical constraint, what is going to be there. And baking them and making the low poly and like translate all the details wasn't that easy. So we had to compromise. But we started projecting that character from the day one. This is what we are going to do it. Correct. So we create that optimistic within the team. Hey, this is how it's going to look. I'm telling you a very good, a beautiful accident basically, where I learn why I become so conscious about before I start my sketches, to understand all this. What is the target audience? Who's going to play that game? What is that age group? What is that geographical location? Also, we talk about many times. We make games, a lot of social or casual games. What kind of tools are we going to use? We don't know actually. While initial stages and the conceptualization stages, we asked not to think about more about the tools and how it's going to just explore what best you can bring to the table. But these are the things is my job. go to the every department, talk to them, find out what is you guys are thinking about during that brainstorm. These are the questions, these are the things you should have in your mind, so that instead of wasting your time creating something that's not going to be used, it's no point. So you have to be very smart enough so that you have an understanding of all this, then you can optimize your work and give more options rather than the volume of great works. Okay, so it should be used, right? When you put your heart and soul and creating something as an artist, we always like my art should be used in a game. How it's going to use, how it is going to work, if you have this understanding, then it's helped a lot, right? And the collaboration, that's what I'm saying. I used to while making on a match 3 game at EA, so I was sit with my programmer, look at how they're taking the stuff and doing all this. I can give you all details, but yeah, I used to hang out with them. They used to give us a lot of feedback. Hey, don't do that, don't do this, this is no point, we're not going to use that, do only this, give us more option to explore. So that collaboration we have to do. It's not just that I'm a 2D artist, I'm a concept artist, I'll do my concept, my job is done, I'll go home. Unless until the game is not completed, we're not going home. That's our job. So even if I don't have anything, I just sit with my 3D artist or I sit with my programmer. Hey guys, if you need anything, I'm there. So that's collaboration. That collaboration is very important. So everybody thought like limited themselves to a lot of concept artists. My advice will be, guys, like be a developer, not just a concept artist. Maybe the concept art is your craft, maybe you're a master in that, but you be a developer. A process, a very basic stuff. I just recently in my studio, one of my junior artists did. Just wanted to share with you this. Like, it's very simple stages. We optimized the process for the concept artist. Correct. So this is where you landed off when you done all this, all your research in the previous slides. What I have just discussed with you, share with you guys, right? A particular and the perfect reference. Correct. So that is the important, because sometimes what happened, sorry, as an artist we like nowadays, like ArtStation is there, a lot of art platform pages are there, billions, millions of painting illustrations are there. What we do, we like lot of art, every artist, we save them in our folder, we save in a like our profile or something, and we put it in a one wall, one monitor, and looking at the hundred of reference are doing one art. Okay, so when I said you need to gather your information from the million of source, but you have a particular 5 reference which your art need. That's it. That's it. We no need hundred of concept art in your screen. Other guys, what they have done. Why? Because it's somehow going to distract you from your originality. Trust me. Because yesterday I had a good session with some of my friends, colleagues, and one of my favorite artists was there in the panel. I told him, like, I am big fan of your art, but I never copy your art. I should have my individuality. I should have my own style. It may take time. But when you have 100 of reference, when you look at 100 of artist work, you don't look at their research part. You are looking at their output. Correct? We don't look at how they ended up within that particular piece of art. Right? So you have to be very particular. I need only 4 or 5 references. I usually use the real photograph for my reference rather than the painted one by someone else. I do respect their artwork, but I don't want to replicate what they have already have done. I'm still struggling. Even if after 22 years, I'm still struggling of how to create my own this thing. I cannot be a Picasso anyway in my concept art. But yeah, that struggle will be there. But guys, honestly, don't look at like don't keep, while you are creating something, don't keep the other artist artwork. Maybe some of reference, you can cut a piece of part of that painting or illustration, maybe the color, particular color, just copy that part. Don't keep the whole concept in your reference screen, and it's going to distract you. So use the real photograph, real image for your inspiration rather than the painted one. That's the baseline what I'm trying to say. As I said, like the optimization, we optimize a lot. Like current trend, if you look at the speed of the production increase, like we are releasing more game than before, because it was earlier, there was not much tool, so we struggled to create that some of the art piece took like 30, 40, 50 days, 15 days, something like that. But now is like a lot of user friendly tools have come, and we how smartly we are using them. And as an artist, my job is, as soon as possible, I'll give a piece of my art to the whole team so that they can think about like a complete production, right? So yeah. So recent time, what's happening is like because of lot of free tools is there, people are using, like they started blocking on a 3D rather than sitting and drawing and make sure that perspective line is matching or not, the volume is going or not. They have nice, very lot of good tools, softwares they can use. So what we do, I asked my team to follow that. Uh, why don't you learn those tools? And it's a faster, and it's also give you nice depth on the light, basic lighting and perspective, everything will help you out. And so that you can take that into that like Photoshop or some, then do a paint over, and it's done, because that process is a very short process. And you can create 5 more options for me rather than one artwork taking 5 days. If you can 5 days, if I can get 3, so that's helped me to decide the complete game, whole complete game idea, the visual direction, right? So this is one process. I don't want to confuse you guys like with there. We follow a lot, we use Unity also many times, like Unreal we have started working on. So artists are like, won't believe, like concept artists are exploring Unreal at this moment. So because it's help, they get the screenshots, they do the paint over, because concept art is never going to be used inside the game. It's a clear, right? So it's going to just inspire, it's going to give a direction. So what tools I am using, how I am manipulating those softwares, making a piece of art is going to give me my all information. That is all about. So don't limit yourself with a particular one tool or one maybe medium, I would say. Like try out various process, try out various techniques, try out various like method of like expressing your ideas through your visuals. Correct? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. This is one of the slide that actually from my experience I would like to share with you guys. Maybe it's not relevant to many, but I would like to share with you, like, because this helped me uh, to deliver a better product today as a senior artist. Okay, if I'm a part of any project, any game, so these are things, the improvisation stage of improvisation. Okay, I've seen that stubbornness in a lot of artists. I was there, I mean, honestly. Uh, but somehow, when I started developing my own stuff, I realized what is that improvisation word going to like help me to do more stuff in the future. I will reach my dream. Okay, something called redo. We spend a lot of times, like as an artist, we know what is that research we had to do, what is the information we have to gather, what is how much movies I have watched, how many games I have played. But after that, all the like my preparation, I make this piece of art, and someone come and game designer said, no, I'm not able to relate this artwork. It's not the game what I'm exactly visualizing or looking at. So then you'll get pissed off really. Hey, I have done so much thing in my life. I give you a piece of art, and you are saying this is not going to work. It's not about my art. It's about for the player. It's about the product requirement. It is about my game style. It's going to give my whole mood of my game. When the player play, it should relate in what kind of mood. It's a war game, so car racing or whatever it is, right? If that mood I don't translate, there is a no point of my great artwork. It doesn't work. So we have to open for the redo phase. If things not working out, go back to your desk again, do it again. Okay, even if take my 3 hours extra, I'll do it. Okay. That's redo. Maybe it sounds very rude, very straightforward, but we have to understand as an artist how important is this, how much open, how open for the new creations, how open for the take feedback, open for the changes, right? This is very important. That's why I said keep your artwork loose and the like quick, so that when the time come for the redo, you won't feel like, hey, I have already exhaust, I spend a lot of time, now you are asking me to do it again so that I can spend again 32 hours. That's not possible. That's why I said use 4 hours, save another 24 hours to explore 5 more versions. So redo means that. It's not redo means I'm not saying just scrap it up. No. Maybe redo your color palette again, maybe redo on your mood again. So that redo. That for that our mind from the heart I have to be open to listen the feedback, take the feedback, like make sure that feedback address in my next stage of art. Correct? Be open to take feedback from anyone within the team. I'm not saying you go outside and take the feedback because that is IP. You cannot talk about outside, but within your team. I feel offended sometimes, like how come that QA guy is talking about, quality assurance guy is talking about my art. He does what he know about the art. It's not art, it's a game. It's not just an art, it's a game, right? It's a help. Actually, it's help you to grow, basically. It's not only about that product. Maybe the next time you'll have a better idea for the next game. Better your visual direction will change, right? Validate. How to validate that? Again, these all words are interlinked, interrelated basically. This is not nothing new word. We hesitate to share our artwork within our team, even like art team. Mostly I have seen that a lot of people, they don't validate whatever I'm doing is right or wrong. They will finish up the stuff, they will present. I email you, hey, I've done my concept. No. You have to validate in every stages. Hey guys, I'm thinking in the direction. Do you think I'm on the right track? Or help me if I'm out of track. I don't understand what exactly needed. Can you help me? Because artists, when they start in the flow, they don't listen to anyone. I know. And they will keep going, and they keep going on the using those colors which we thought like we are not going to use this color palette. Our color palette is this, but somehow they ended up with using those colors. I'm giving a very simple example, or maybe the kind of scaling or the world environment mood. So keep validating within your art team, maybe your junior artist. Okay, as a senior art doesn't mean that I know everything. I'm a god of no. Maybe the new guys, the freshers, they have a brilliant ideas. They have seen more games than us. I have spent my whole career doing the art, but they play a hell lot of games, and they are become they are concept artists now. They know more than me. Why hesitation? I just ask, hey, come here, tell me how the things. Do you think I'm on the track, or is it's giving any like wow factor on this? no, I think if you can do this, do that might help, or it will look great and all this. What is the problem to try out that? So unless until I don't validate what I'm doing, I will be like ended up with the same problem. And at the end of the day, I'll email to my art director, email to my designer, and they will come back next day morning. Will open your Outlook. You will see that no, things are not looking good the way we want. Can we do it again? So the validate. So these are the points. If we keep in mind while creating our stuff, it's help save lot of energy, and that time and energy we can create. We can use that creating more options, because I have seen many of people, they just come up with one art. They said this is the game is going to look like. I said, who said that? How did you validate that it's going to work out? Why can't we have a five more options? Why can't we compare? I need I need to have a discussion point, right? If I have one art, what I will discuss. If I have 10 art, I can compare and we can discuss. We'll have a more points to discuss. It's simple, right? So yeah, I'm talking about the initial stages as in concept art, the concept phase. That about that phase. Player first, correct? As I said, like they are everything. If the player didn't like the game, everything is gone. I'm failed, right? If they don't buy, they don't like it, there's no point. Whatever I'm like, I've created like Rembrandt painting or something like that. No, player first. Player is God. So if the honestly, I mean, player feedback from the Play Store or all the source, like wherever we get the feedback, we address that in our uh, next version of the release. We change that. We make sure that we usually get feedbacks from the players on the visuals. And it looks shitty. Looks amazing. Hey, this looks all this. Let's understand that. Why? Because they are going to watch that visuals and play the game, right? So the player first. We all have to understand that. Okay? Speed. Again, I'm coming back to energy and time. Okay? So as much energy and the time I save, I can create more options. Concept art is not just he's a painter that he do one canvas paint and he put it in a wall. No, no, no. We are concept artists. Our job is to produce a million sketches in a day. I'm just giving you the million number, but it's not million number. But have to as many as possible options we can give it to our team to decide what needed, what exactly my game required. That is very very important. When you have a speed, then you have all that possible things, like for you to explore, right? So I don't want to someone come to my place and look at only one stuff and said, no, I don't like this. Like a shopping mall, like let's say a big brand shoe shop where you'll have a varieties of shoes. He can choose, right? I don't want to someone to go empty handed. No, I should have options. I should have give them a more time and option to think about it and choose one art. I'm a greedy guy. As an artist, I want my art to be success. I want my art to be there in the game. Correct the speed. If you don't have the speed, then we'll ended up with only one art at the end of the day. That's why I said the process of making the concept art nowadays is evolved. They're using lot of tools, lot of mediums, lot of technique to speed up their process so that they can give more options, right? So give as much as inspirational sketches to the your whole team. Okay, inspire them, motivate them to make a great game. That is also by back in 2010, one of game tester who want to be a game designer come to me and ask me, hey, I have seen one of art in your blog, a single piece of art, and I thought we can pull out a nice game from this art. I said, okay, what was that? looking at that time, we had thought of PSP. If you guys know that PSP, a side-scrolling game, typical Indian theme fighting game. So there was a small piece of art, very quick concept. I put it in a blog, and he looked at that. He wanted to be a game designer. That's how that game happened. What I'm saying, it should spark someone to make that product or make that game. Actually, we are fortunate. Actually, we help whole team to get motivated, get inspired, and make a beautiful, a great game or great product. Okay. Yeah. So, and the last, as an artist, advice, a suggestion from me, being in this industry from 20-25 years now, what made me to talk about all this in front of you guys, only one thing: keep scribbling daily. Okay, I have seen many people, they just walk around as an artist, they walk around with their sketchbook and one pen, even if it's a tiny, it doesn't matter. Scribble. Don't I've seen, I'm sorry, I'm not, because nowadays again when I talk about the speed or technology, you'll talk about we have mobile, we can click the picture, we can keep it. But for artists, we are not going to share that photograph, right? We are going to share the drawings. So this art drawing, my skill has to be, like polished and sharp, so that as an artist, even if you are 3D artist, it doesn't matter. You remember, we used to keep our daily diary. So make that a daily diary. Wherever you travel, you are in the cafe, you are in the seaside, you are in the like theater. I mean, not theater, you can't draw inside, but wherever you possible, just draw, keep it. Make those sticky figure even. Think about the one label. I saw that nice curvature in that bridge. I think, what if that skate guy, like the ideas. So scribbling help, because it will engage your thought process, engage your mind, very right direction of that thought process. It will help. It help lot, and keep striking, guys. So that's scribbling. That practice, the length of the practice, it will help. It will make you stand out, and your art going to be recognized, and art going to be used. You will become an inspiration for someone, to new generation, or the people who are still studying. You can become their inspiration and help them to, why it is important, because I cannot make games till my another 15 years. I need someone to, make better game from us, more than what we did today. Make better game. How we can help them, how we can inspire them, how we can tell them our failure story, so that they should not repeat, right? So this is very important, to help the coming of the new generations to understand, and give them, like, hey guys, now your turn, make the games, make us proud, right? So yeah, so Ajay, that's what I mean. Stand out, be an inspiration for others, and yeah. So I think, yes, that's it about my. I'll have a water, please.
Great start today too. Isn't it, guys? How did you like the session?
Thank you.
We'll open up the floor for any questions that you have, so we can do quick questions.
Yeah.
Hello, Naresh.
Hello.
Thank you for your talk. You say that concept art is transforming words to images at the beginning. So how do you compete with Midjourney, for example? Or how do you use artificial intelligence for concept art?
Okay, you're talking about how I'm using the new technology.
I'm talking about artificial intelligence, like Midjourney.
Midjourney.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's a recent, very recent time things are, honestly, I haven't tried yet. Because yes, but I have seen lot of good things in that. I mean, we have any pros and cons in every new technology on how we are adapting and the new trend. When I talk about the new trend, definitely I cannot be turn my face. No, this is nothing like that. People said that this is not very much artistic. People just type and get the artwork. What is the point of that? So now, as a concept artist, I would definitely adopt that because some of the colors I have seen that the rhythm, the dance, the color, mixing of the contrast level and all this. I may get that inspiration from there. Maybe, as I said, the concept art is not never going to be used directly inside the game, but it's going to inspire the whole direction of the visual direction. I think yes, we can adopt that, but that what is the problem again? Because on my understanding, I may be wrong, but it don't give me an individuality. I don't give me that that my game stand out from the other games from the visual perspective. But for the inspiration, yes, I would definitely look at that, and I would say like, what is the harm in that? I mean, people should because the colors. I love that colors in that particular software. What is that? I
Mid Journey.
Mid Journey, yeah, it's a mobile this thing, right? I haven't tried yet, but I have seen a lot of posts and a lot of things. I think I'm greedy guy. I'm selfish guy. Wherever I can take something, I'll take it definitely. Yeah,
So
Thank you.
if I may interject, our next session is bang on the same point.
yeah,
Our next session starts at 11:45, and the title only says AI in game art.
yeah. Hope I have answered your question. Thank you.
Hello, Naresh.
Hello.
Thank you for a very insightful session, extremely useful for students who are present here today, but as well as for practice. I wanted to check with you personally, what would be your ultimate dream as a concept artist to achieve? What would that be, whether it is now or in future?
Yeah, so I would say like I use that word always whenever my uh, seniors or my people ask. I said I want to give my visual direction to the particular game. That game has to have like all my visual direction, the kind of stylization, kind of like the visual look and feel. That's the simple. But the same time, I always said like I want to be a game developer. So I want to make a because an artist many times we create a lot of artwork. We thought, what if my this piece of art if move and make some like game mechanism or something like that. I want to see beyond, right? So my art is I don't want to just finish it up and keep it as a concept artist, but how I can take my this piece of concept artist to the next level. So that's what I said, like visual direction. My goal is like to be a visual direction and make a visual driven game. Is
All
that
right. Yes, I mean, I think, yes, at least I'm understanding as much as possible.
yeah? Thank you.
Any other questions?
You've already touched upon this, but how can someone who can't really draw a sketch can
Mm.
get into concept art? Concept art.
Okay. Have you? I think I realized this question and I missed in my slide.
Yeah.
The breakdown, the subcategories, right? The subcategories.
Yeah.
One is the categories and the subcategories, right? The concept art is not just a piece of art. There is a lot of character concept art, environment concept art, asset concept art, visual development. In the game art process, there's a lot of things involved, right? So what do you want to be? So once you define that, you understand that, that a lot of people, if you say that I want to be a character concept artist and I don't know drawing, that's bit of the. I think you should think about it again. Either you choose the right uh, subject or not, right? So, but many times, people use lot of references, like manipulate, like matte painting. So that's what even a concept artist doesn't mean that you just sit and paint. Maybe you can through your a few collage or something like that. If you can able to narrate that story, to convey that mood, that is also enough. But yes, concept artist means then Drawing up, you can practice little. Even sometimes we just do the sticky figure to plan out our level. So yeah.
Hello, sir.
Right.
I'm Kshitij. I loved your session right now. So I also had a artistic background,
Mhm.
but whenever I create assets right now, I'm a 3D artist. But
Mm.
even though I have some sketches and all, I do like goal setting. Like this is my goal in this particular art. But I still, while doing the process, I get lost into the details. I,
Sorry, I didn't get
I
your.
get lost into the details, but how to know when your art is finished?
Yes.
Is it like you have used all your 100% skills, whatever you got, all you have thrown into them, or someone
No.
tells you that it is good enough, then it's finished? How do we know that it's done?
Okay. I told you right, about the brainstorming and the collaboration.
Yeah,
There, when you sat with them, you have your notepad, just listed down. Or maybe you scribble down what is the required, what is the needed. Don't waste your time doing unnecessary details which is not required. Maybe once that block out is done, maybe required design is done, you can enhance it, you can add little more beautification to that. That is up to you. But what is the requirement? You have to understand that, right? What is that player requirement? What is that game requirement? Do only that much. Because if you save time, you can create another version of that. Or you can create option of that. Okay?
yeah. So when the end goal is satisfied, then it's done. Like,
No, it's okay. Here is one thing. Like, hope I'm not taking too much time. Okay, thank you. So I'll tell you very secret one of concept artist where I leave my mark. Correct. So I use that, like, and that ichi every artist have where I'll put my signature so that people will know that this is my artwork, right? Where what is that? As in visual, I can't put a signature on my asset. What is that signature you're going to leave on that particular asset? You can say like, hey, that guy's done that character. Or maybe, like the kind of great character model or environment artist, we save references from their artwork, right? So where is that mark? What is that you are leaving in that particular asset, a particular character, that people will know you from that artwork, right? So once the requirement is done, then you play around with without distracting the, like the core requirement, the core design, without hampering them. You just remove, add little bit of your touch up and give a little bit of beautification, so that you feel like this is that, okay, that guy is done. Typically, that's what we do. We leave our mark, we leave our signature, not in the name or number, but on the style of artwork. Okay.
okay, so what I can understand is like if you at least deliver that mood and feel to them, like what they want, then that version is done. Like then you can
No, no,
work
no.
on other things.
Within that version,
Yeah,
if you want to leave your mark, do little beautifications,
yeah.
little more enhancement without hampering that parameter, without
Yeah,
hampering the requirement.
without losing the
Core,
concept
yeah,
or what the other want.
exactly, exactly.
Thank you.
All right. This will be the last question, I guess. That's all the time we have.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Great session.
Thank
So,
you.
I would like to know what is your biggest advice for artists who are going through creative blocks?
Ah, okay. What is that creative block? I mean, please, I want to understand that because I never had. Yes, I got blank sometimes because when you out of ideas, you just got blank, right? But I made sure my practices helped me to never got a blank. So that's why those, even if one more thing, like, yeah, I want to share with you all guys like how I work till today. I start with a circle because start with my basic, right? So whenever I got just blank, I just out of idea or something like that, again I go back to my basic, my foundation, make circle. That inspired me to go next, further, and that's made me to create my own character or something like that. If I want to start from the mid, because nowadays what is happening because of the speed, when I talk about the speed, the time requirement, we don't have a much time to start with the foundation. So that we take from the middle stage and just finish it up by the end of the day. A lot of people are like little impatient because they wanted to see their output in next 15 minutes. But kind of like old process guys, I still start with my paper pencil. And my process I kept, as a personal learning process, I kept a little bit lengthy. So that my engagement, and once a habit, it's become a habit with me like that. Every day I sketch. It's in this art field I started 1986, my first art school, and today I'm here. Unfortunately, I'm till date every day I draw. So I never had this, but yes, we are human beings. We sometimes we got blank, sometimes you just out of idea. So I watch movies, I listen to song, I look at the other guys and get jealous. Yeah, simple. It's simple because I don't want to left out. Like standing end of the line. I'm an artist. I want a concept artist. I am the first guy who's going to give the visual direction for the whole game or movie or animation, right? I am the starting point. Be proud of that and say that I am here. Let me know what you want. I'll provide. I'll produce. I'll show you the vision. Correct? So this is, once you understand yourself, then nothing will going to be hamper you, your thought process. That's what I do. Maybe.
Thank you, sir.